That hasn't. Okay. There it is. Okay. The time has come. I call to order the Lewiston Urban Renewal Agency regular meeting of August 11th, 2026. We're at citizen comments. Katie, has anybody called anything in?
Nothing was called in.
Anybody in the audience have anything that's not related to public hearings? Okay. Then we move on to the public hearing portion of our meeting. So, public hearings, I will announce the subject of the public hearing, inform the public time limits, 3 minutes per speaker for public hearings if anybody speaks up. And so let's open the first public hearing on the fiscal year 2026 amended budget. Do we have any testimony?
Okay, so in your guys' packet is the budget that we reviewed the last meeting. For this is the amended budget that added the budget capacity to pay out the remaining costs from our East Orchard Sewer project. Those two amendments that the board approved back in December of last year. And then also approved adding the 200,000 project cost for Dryden. And that was a request that you had received from Public Works regarding some additional survey stuff and environmental items that needed to be completed. So the request had come in February. You guys approved that request to do some matching funds. And so those were the two items that got added to the budget. I was not given direction to make any other changes to that budget. And so that is what is in front of you today. So in the packet, there's the public hearing notice that I'm legally required to do, and then a copy of that budget that was reviewed by you guys at our last meeting, which those two changes, project costs in both those area 5 and area 6.
And that was in the change was about 288,000 total.
Yes.
Thereabouts.
Give or take, yes. Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember the numbers off the top of my head. No, it was a little bit more than that because it was, I think 100-ish thousand between the two with Albrights and Merrick on East Orchard Sewer. So that took us from just a little over 100 to right under 1.5. It was 1.4984, and so we bumped up to 1650. And then the 200 was a flat amount from right.
Anybody have anything? Okay. Unless anybody's got any heartburn, I'd like to close that public hearing and open the next one.
Okay, so does anybody, board members, do you have any, this would be the time to ask questions, do anything else you want to do before I close the public hearing?
No questions here.
Okay.
So the next public hearing has to do with next year's fiscal budget. And I'd like to open that public hearing.
Okay, so same story. In your packet again is the notice that's legally required, so I would provide that to you guys so you can see that I am doing the job. And then again, the budget as discussed at the previous meeting. So you'll see for fiscal year 27, currently we don't have any project costs programmed because we don't have any anticipated projects in that fiscal year. Just a reminder, we can amend the budget at any time. So if a project were to come up and the board was interested in pursuing it, we could make an amendment at that point.
Just like we did in the last public hearing.
Correct. So like usual, we have our estimated tax receipts, our estimated interest for each of those areas, our bond costs for East Orchard Sewer, our administrative professional services that are stretched across 3 areas. Publication costs is kind of listed separately, so that's anytime I have to publish something like this, or anything else that would need to be done. And then balances are at the bottom.
Questions or comments?
And here.
Okay. In that case, I'd like to close this public hearing. Move on to the active agenda. So the first is going to vote on the amended fiscal year 2026 budget. I'll entertain a motion.
Also move.
Second,
What are you moving? To approve?
To approve, yes.
Thank you.
second,
Second.
okay, excellent. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hey, you didn't ask for discussion, so I'm not stating more. But it's already on the record.
Okay. And the motion is passed. Approval of the fiscal year 2027 budget. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Also move.
Have a second.
Okay.
All in favor of approval, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
But again, no discussion, but I'll just say nay, a couple of small items. I almost voted aye. But there's no project costs. Still, there's something else that I like. And that's realizing it's county position. It's county position. Okay.
Okay. Approval of the July 14th meeting minutes. Are there any questions or corrections? Anybody's noted?
I didn't see any corrections, in my read. I will move approval of the minutes.
We have a second.
I was second it, even though I wasn't here, I didn't see anything that looked out of order.
Excellent. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. So we've got some invoices to look at. O'Sullivan Legal for $292.50. I'll entertain a motion to approve the O'Sullivan Legal invoice for $292.50.
We moved that we approved the invoice.
Okay.
Sullivan.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? That motion passes. So City of Lewiston reimbursement request for the East Orchard Sewer Phase 3 construction project in the amount of $80,285.68 for Albright and $8,192.21 for Merrick, for a total of $88,477.89.
These are the closeout invoices for that project.
Which is why we had to amend the 2026 fiscal budget.
Right.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the reimbursement request for East Orchard Sewer Phase 3 construction. Total of $88,477.89.
Move to approve the City of Lewiston reimbursement request.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion passes. Approval of the East Orchard Sewer Revenue Allocation Area Annual Bond Payment of $148,949,056. I'll entertain a motion to approve the East Orchard Sewer bond payment for that amount.
I will so move.
Second,
Approval.
there you go. All in favor?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
This is, the annual bond payment is just the minimum payment, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was reading the minutes and it says, the last meeting was brought up that the bond could be paid off essentially because there's enough funds in there. But that's a discussion for the board at a later date, right?
So they did discuss at the last meeting and chose not to amend the budget to include additional payment at this time.
Okay, this was a meeting, the county didn't have any voting representation, now, right?
Correct.
That was,
We discussed it and decided not to, and I can't remember why, because I thought initially we probably should. Wasn't it just a little close?
So we had discussed, the board did discuss, and the general feeling, was that you would prefer to save for another project, but that you might reconsider it in the 27 fiscal year. To look at maybe doing an extra payment then.
Right.
It's just like we amended the 26 budget now. In the past, that is when the board has chosen to make an additional payment, is they will amend the current fiscal year's budget as they're approving the next fiscal year's budget. And then we make those additional payments. That's what we did for the two previous additional payments that the board has chosen to make.
Thank you.
So we've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye, sorry.
nay.
Motion passes. Brighton Avenue Reconstruction Stage 1, request for $200,000. I'll entertain a motion to approve in that amount.
Move to approve the Brighton Avenue reconstruction for $200,000.
Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
That motion carries. So now we're at the review of financial summaries.
All right, so there are two of them. So one was included in your packet for June. If you remember at the last meeting, we had not received the state treasurer's full bank statement in time for the meeting. So this was not included the last meeting. So you can see in June, not a lot of movement. And then in July, you can see the remaining increment that came in. Those checks were received by the city on behalf of the URA and deposited into our accounts. So you can kind of see the jump between the two, right? So in East Orchard Sewer, we were sitting at 497,000 and a change in increment. After the second half payment, we're at 780. Brighton was sitting at 416 and change. We're now at 616 and change. And downtown Normal Hill was at 222,000 and change, and we're now at 360 and change. That's kind of the largest change between the two. Good, you know, the small bills that were paid last time, like usual. You'll obviously see a little bit bigger of a dip between this month and next month with, you know, the closeout of East Orchard Sewer Phase 3 project, our bond payment, and then that 200 for Brighton. But those are kind of the big items between the 2 months. Any questions?
Anything? Okay. So do we have any board member comments? In general? Staff comments?
Just the normal, our next regular meeting is September 8th. And like we have in years past, we will start reviewing, each of the revenue allocation areas, like we've done before. We'll probably end up doubling up since I know that Deb will be leaving us, at the end of this year and someone new will be coming from the county. We'll probably do a review again at the beginning of next year. But just in keeping with my normal schedule of events, we'll be doing that. But the next regular meeting is September 8th. Anyone unable to attend?
Me.
Okay. Okay. And then lastly, I would like to introduce Denise Metz. She is our new port representative. She was appointed by council on July 27th. So she replaces Joe as our regular person from the port. So if everybody would like to go around the table and give a brief hi and your name if you represent, that would be great.
Doug Havens, that's coming for 6 months.
Butch Alford, I work at Tribune, and my seat on the board is representative of Valley Vision. Glad to have.
So Tim Switzer, I'm an at-large member.
I'm fairly new to the board, and we have another new person coming on who doesn't like retiring. And Joe switched to a different
Over.
function in the board to represent, so I'm new here too. I'm still
Welcome,
learning and
welcome aboard.
a lot to absorb. Thank you.
I guess I forgot to, in board member comments. The county, I know there's a procedure for the proxy voting and all that stuff. We're probably going, so it's a continuing flow. Joe and I talked about this quickly this morning. Because they don't know who the proxy is gonna be. Nobody knows who it's gonna be on the board, but they don't wanna miss voting on any of the meetings. So we're probably somebody may be a proxy for a month or two.
Yes, so when Joe had come in, I told him so that we don't have a problem with not, because right now you don't have a proxy, right?
Yeah,
Would be to, when you pick who the new representative is and you send that letter to city council for the appointment, to put who the main voting member is gonna be, and then also assign a proxy, and that way everybody, and maybe assign 2 proxies, and that way you have everybody covered. And that way everybody has been either appointed as the main member or appointed as an alternative if they can't come. And that's what council does with Cassie and Matt. Is they appoint a main person and then an alternate. And that way you would be covered. Because that's what we asked the port to do when they sent over the letter appointing Denise, was to appoint Denise and then have Joe as the alternate. The same thing, that's important for, us to be able to make quorum.
right. Okay,
Yeah, so I think just doing the letter that way and having, this is who our assigned person is and here's who our alternates are.
yeah, the point is they don't know who the assigned person's gonna be in there.
Yeah, so they'll decide that
Anything right now.
in January. I think it'll actually, the same thing might occur with the port and even with, well, I don't know if council. Cassie, do you know, are you assigned to URA for 2 years or just 1 year?
I believe it's 2.
Because internally we had discussed, kind of just where the meetings all lay. Because it might make the most sense to cancel the regular URA meeting in January and schedule a special one so that it happens after all the other boards, commissions, whatever, meet and assign their person. And they get nominated by council so that we don't have a break.
Yeah,
And so I think that's probably what.
okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll probably look at that, because I know that you guys usually do it like the day before URA meets.
Yeah, I
so then
think
it
that's
doesn't-
what it is.
Yeah, so it doesn't like match up with council, and so I think we'll probably look at doing that and just pushing that first URA meeting to a special meeting that happens after everybody has been like assigned by their boards, commissions, or whoever, and that way we can get them all appointed by council, so that we're following all the legal processes, but we're not having anybody drop off.
Right.
Does that work, Doug?
I think so. I won't be around to figure it out. After whatever, January 7th, or
Are you
whatever.
getting giddy?
That's not until January, right?
Yeah, so that won't be till January, but we have been thinking about that because I know
Yeah.
that that's coming for like more than one board, and I'm like, how do I make that work? So it'll probably either be a special meeting, or I might even just look at canceling January and then doing all of the regular business in February, once we've been able to get the shuffle kind of completed. And that way, you know, I can still make quorum, everybody's represented. All of those things still happen. So that's my general thought about that right now.
Okay. Any other staff comments?
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Now we have
opposed?
5 months left.
This meeting has ended.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.
See you,
Yeah,
Thad.
go really fast.
See that? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's just on the calendar, Wednesday.